The bag claims 1.5, but it does too.
I know the guys that developed this say one thing, but we can be cheaper.
Yeah, the bag says wear eye protection, gloves, probably, full-on hazmat suit, but let's just be real.
I feel like a lot of Jeff's projects are that way. I know we're supposed to do it this way, but we're going to do it cheaper.
Remember, in the summertime, around here, a work day is sun up to sundown.
Sun up to sundown, but the video started at 10 a.m. What time does the sun come up?
So if you're going to have an outdoor project, don't be afraid to work like a farmer.
Don't be afraid to work like a farmer, but we stopped when it started raining, and we started at 10 a.m. the next day.
Today's video is brought to you by our good friends over at Nationwide Industries, the Fence Pros' #1 choice. And they are this Fence Pros' #1 choice for a couple reasons. One, we love using their Keystone Traverse latches. They're easy to install. You simply bolt them onto the post. No drilling for rods or cutting the rods required. It's a pretty straightforward installation process. We also love using their full line of galvanized hardware. It shows up quickly and reliably.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is the second part of a several-part series reviewing Home Renovision DIY's latest fence installation build. Off to a bit of a rough start. We're not really measuring our holes equally. We're not really installing them all in line. They're probably not deep enough. They're definitely not wide enough, but we'll see how this goes. So in the end of the last video, Jeff had mentioned Sitka Pro Select, so we're going to pick it up from there.
Just got the first two posts set up. We got the one at the end set up. Got sticks in the holes. We know we're going to be able to line everything up.
It's interesting that the posts are shorter now. When he held that 8'2" 2x4 up, they were equal with that post. Now they look a little bit closer to Jeff's height. He did the whole things my kids do when they measure themselves. Instead of going across, they just go up. And he still had a couple feet above that, whatever his hand is there. Now they do look a bit deeper. So maybe it's the magic of YouTube editing. Maybe they got cut. Who knows?
For the sake of time to get this job done today, first thing we're going to do is we're going to set these two posts.
That post was 100% shorter. Maybe with some YouTube editing of ours, we can compare how tall these posts were compared with how tall they are now.
And then we'll keep on leveling the rest of the posts. And as we level every two posts, we'll open another bag and we'll install our post setting compound. Now, this is where people are gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're gonna use this stuff.
Oh my God, I can't believe he's using that stuff.
It's like, yeah, but it works.
Doesn't work. We did a video where we tested this exact post foam with a standard hole, a hole that was as deep and as wide as we would use in a standard fence. Didn't fill the hole. It actually ended up shrinking, constricting, whichever term. It was smaller at the end than it was at the beginning after it fully cured to where the post was very wobbly in the hole. It actually pulled away from the fence material as well. Now those were steel posts. Jeff's opted for the less expensive option and went with wood post. So we'll see how it goes.
It's expansion foam in a bag. It's two-part. All you gotta do is just roll it together. It mixes, breaks the seal. Give it a good mix, cut it open, pour it. It does 2 posts for every bag, okay?
I'll have to look it up. I think it was a post per bag. I mean, we definitely used one full bag on a post. I could imagine trying to split the batch. I don't know how you would measure it. If it's a chemical reaction, whenever it starts, it's going. There is no pressing pause or stopping it. So I'm not really sure how you would measure out proportionally half a bag or whatever.
The bag claims 1.5, but it does too.
I know the guys that developed this say one thing, but we can be cheaper.
Yeah, the bag says wear eye protection, gloves, probably, full-on hazmat suit, but let's just be real.
I feel like a lot of Jeff's projects are that way. I know we're supposed to do it this way, but we're going to do it cheaper.
So you want to push it,
shake
all the
vigorously.
contents from one side, roll a bit to the other side, right? All right, here we go. That's plenty of time, because 20 seconds is all we got here, right, kids? Here we go. And we're going to make 2 posts out of this, so try to have an idea of how much of the foam you're pouring in. Here you go. Okay, sip one over here.
It's actively expanding in the bag. I mean, not as much in the beginning as it does at the end, but I don't know how you would begin to guess how much half the bag is.
That one's going to need less. And here we go.
Pour a good amount on the ground. That'll definitely help.
This stuff feels really, really hot. when it starts to mix. Now, I know this is looking really slow. It is still growing. When this is finished, it's going to be right up out of the ground.
There's no way those holes are 3 or 4 foot deep. I mean, this hole might be 8 inches across, just assuming this is a 3.5 inch, a 4x4, which is actually 3.5 inches. I find it very hard to believe that this is a 3 or 4 foot deep hole.
Well, good morning, guys. It's day 2 of our build a fence in 1 day video. Imagine that. It's still build a fence in 1 day video. Let's break this down. We finished setting our post. We got hit with a rainstorm. It rained all night. It rained most of this morning. We're about 10 o'clock now the next day. And we're going to finish this sucker off today.
Why would you cut your string? Okay.
If you have a decent kind of weather outlook, you can definitely do this in 1 day.
I'm surprised to see the foam expand this much. Like I said, I'll reference the video that we did where we knew the depth of the hole, we knew the width of the hole, we knew the diameter of the post in the hole, and it didn't come close to the top of the post. Jeff mentioned this being hot, right? So it's an exothermic reaction, this chemical reaction is. There's some thought that the steel post we used acted like a heat shrink, where it absorbed some of that exothermic reaction and affected it somehow. Maybe, maybe not. But in the beginning of the video, Jeff said they drill 3 foot, they try for 4 foot deep holes. I have a hard time believing that half a bag of this filled a 4 foot deep hole when our experience with it was a full bag didn't fill a full post hole. Your experience may vary.
This foam sets up in about an hour, all right? And then you can build on it. So if you consider 4 or 5 hours for posts and pour in your foam, take a lunch break, you can come back and finish off in the afternoon.
You know, Jeff mentioned that they're in a really wet area. One thought about it too is this foam is a product is buoyant, right? So if we're talking about they're not set very deep, they do have a frost depth that is deeper than his holes are set, and you're putting moisture in it in the summertime that's going to be forcing that post up. In the wintertime, it's going to be forcing that post up. I would bet if you took a stroll by this fence in, 3-4 years, you're going to see some lateral movement, but also some vertical movement. It's not going to be straight.
That's awesome. Remember, in the summertime, around here, a work day is sun up to sundown.
Sun up to sundown, but the video started at 10 a.m. What time does the sun come up?
So if you're going to have an outdoor project, don't be afraid to work like a farmer.
Don't be afraid to work like a farmer, but we stopped when it started raining, and we started at 10 a.m. the next day.
My system here is the easiest install ever.
That seems to be a theme, at least with the fence builds we've watched, this is the easiest possible way to do this. Not necessarily the best way or the right way, but this is the easiest way to do this.
You have to worry about your post being perfect, the distance from the holes, and you don't have to measure to the nanometer to set your pre-built fence posts in from the Home Depot. This is all built on the face and on the face. So everything we do is just nice and quick and simple. All we gotta do is make sure we stay level, and that's it.
Guys, it seems like a good place to stop this video. He's getting ready to maybe transition into how to build it on these posts that are questionably set. Let me know. What do you think in the comments below? I'd be glad to hear any and all feedback you might have about using this Sitka Pro Select or really any foam to set fence posts. This is the second part of a multi-part series. If you'd like to watch the remaining parts, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that YouTube lets you know the next time we've got a video uploaded. Until now, Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll catch you next time.